May I proceed, Your Worship?
Before you proceed, Ms. Ngobo, are we settled with the ruling as far as the application is concerned? We have 2 cameras now. Sorry, is it off? All right, sir, are these your 2 cameras? All right. Are there any other visual recordings in court that are active? Please switch it off, as well as audio. You can proceed.
As the court pleases, Your Worship, today is the 19th of September 2019, case number B552 of 19, State versus Hester, Tharina Human, Laetitia, Nell, and Pieter, Jacobus van Sale. Appearances are as follows, Your Worship. Mr. Presiding Officer, Mr. Kota, Public Prosecutor, Ms. Ngobo. Interpreter is Mr. Khadebe. Your Worship, the accused number 1 is represented by Mr. May. Accused number 2 is represented by Mr. Fente. Accused number 3 is represented by Mr. Chirwa. Your Worship, our stenographer today is Mr. Lishwedi. As the court pleases, Your Worship, this is a formal bail application. It's a Schedule 1 offence. Your Worship, the accused before court, Your Worship, are charged with kidnapping of a minor child of 6 years and extortion, Your Worship. As the court pleases, Your Worship.
Okay, Ms. Hester Tharina Human. That's you, ma'am. Are you comfortable in English or do you require any interpreter? English is fine. Good. Ms. Laetitia Nell. That's you, ma'am. The same for you. Are you comfortable in English? Or... And it's Mr. Pieter Jacobus van Zyl. So are you okay in English? Do you require an interpreter? English. It's okay. Thank you. Mr. May.
This is the court, Your Worship. I confirm my appearance on behalf of accused number 1, Your Worship. Your Worship, with reference to the language barrier, my client is comfortable with English, but she will indicate to the court or either myself if there's a problem, if she wants to know something that's not understandable to her.
All right. What is the alternative language?
Home language is Afrikaans.
Afrikaans.
Yes, but she's comfortable to proceed.
To understand the proceedings.
The court's attention if there's something that she doesn't understand.
Okay.
May I request, Your Worship, for the accused to sit during the proceedings?
Sorry?
May I request that the accused sit during the proceedings?
Yes,
Thank you,
please.
Your Worship.
You can take a seat.
Your Worship, I confirm my appearance now on behalf of accused number 2. We are comfortable in English.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Worship. I confirm my appearance on behalf of accused number 3. Your Worship, it's also my instruction that he is fully conversant in English and therefore that will be the language used, Your Worship, to proceed to proceedings, Your Worship. And with leave of the court, Your Worship, I would also like to make a brief application to the court, Your Worship. As well as the court had adjourned, certain information came to light and it has a bearing on this bail application where my client is concerned, Your Worship. I will therefore, Your Worship, request for the court to adjourn just for about 10 or 15 minutes, Your Worship, as I was still finalizing these instructions with the accused person, Your Worship, whilst the court had adjourned, Your Worship, and I did not get an opportunity to fully finalize these instructions before this bail application proceeds, Your Worship.
All right. Mr. Chirwa, what exactly is outstanding
Your Worship,
as far as the instructions are concerned?
it's the instructions that are concerned with regards to the bail application.
All right. Is it for the affidavit or?
Indeed, Your Worship.
All right. Are you specifically concerned what exactly? Just enlighten the court of what What is it that you need to do still?
To finalize the contents of the affidavit that we endeavor to use in support of the bail application.
All right.
As I've mentioned, certain information came to light whilst the court had adjourned, and it has a bearing on this bail application, which I would request for the court to, with respect, we should grant me this adjournment so that I may just finalize this instruction, Your Worship.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chirwa.
The court,
All
please.
right, as far as Mr. Chirwa, your application to adjourn for a while is concerned, you are representing accused number 3, which
Indeed,
is
Your
applicant
Worship.
number 3 in the matter.
Indeed, Your
Right?
Worship.
Perhaps we can proceed for now. Mr. May, are you ready to proceed with your application?
I am ready, Your Worship. I haven't had the opportunity for my client to sign the. I'm also going to represent a affidavit. But Your Worship, I'm of the view this is a Schedule 1. The accused is charged with a Schedule 1 offence, both charges against him, and the state is going to start with their case first, Your Worship. So after the state's case, we will represent the defence case in the bail application.
Mr. Fenter, you obviously concur.
I'm ready to proceed, Your Worship.
Right. As such, Mr. Chirwa, then we will proceed. When it's time for you to place your client's application before the court, then obviously you will have time to finalize your application then.
We are indebted to the court, Your Worship.
Right, Ms. Ngobo, is the state ready to proceed?
Ready, Your Worship.
All right, you may proceed, ma'am.
As the court pleases, Your Worship, the state would like to call Constable Mutloung to the witness box.
Constable Mutloung. Right. Can you state your full names for the record, please?
It's Clayton George Mutloung.
Sorry, what? Clady?
Clayton George Mutloung.
Clayton.
Clayton, yes.
Clayton George.
Mutloung, Your Worship.
Are you comfortable in English, sir, or do you require an interpreter?
I'm comfortable in English, Your Worship.
All right. Mr. Mutloung, do you have any objections into taking the prescribed oath?
I have no objection, Your Worship.
Do you swear that the evidence you're about to give today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear, Your Worship.
All right. You can raise your right hand and repeat after me, so help me God.
So help me God.
Mr. Mutloung, the proceedings are being recorded. As you can see, there are extra recordings now today. Do you have any objections into your evidence being audio and visually recorded?
I have no objection on audio. I'm on visual, Your Worship, but audio I'm not comfortable.
You're comfortable in audio, not in visual.
Yes, Your Worship.
All right. What is your objection, sir?
Your Worship, as I'm still investigating, still outstanding investigation and suspect that are still at large in this matter, Your Worship. I believe that, Your Worship, if they can see the investigating officer, Your Worship, this might take this take time, Your Worship, to effect certain arrests that are still outstanding, Your Worship.
Any submissions from any of the parties regarding what the investigating officer has stated?
No submissions, thank you, Your Worship.
None, Your Worship.
None, Your Worship.
Mr. Ngobo?
None, Your Worship, from the state.
All right, Mr. Mutloung, the court will then order that your testimony be only audibly recorded and no visual recordings of your testimony be taken. All right, I'm sure that whoever is in charge of the cameras will then note that. Sir? All right. Only audio. All right, good. Good. Mr. Motlaong, then remember that the proceedings are being recorded. Just try to speak slowly, clearly, and loudly, directly into the microphone if possible. The court is also taking its own notes as well. All right, good. Ms. Ngobo, you may proceed.
As the court pleases, Your Worship. Sir, you are a police officer, am I correct?
Correct, Your Worship.
Where are you stationed?
Your Worship, I'm stationed at Family Violence and Child Protection Unit, Your Worship. It's based in Tharina Human, Your Worship.
You are an investigating officer in this matter, am I correct?
Correct, Your Worship.
How many years of service as an investigating officer and a police officer?
Your Worship, I'm 10 years in the service and then 6 years as an investigating officer, Your Worship.
Sir, I would like you to tell the court that what are the charges against the three accused before this court.
Your Worship, all three accused, Your Worship, before you, they are facing the charge of kidnapping of a minor, 6-year-old, Your Worship. And the second charge, Your Worship, is an extortion of an amount of 2 million rand, Your Worship.
Is this 6-year-old a girl or a boy?
She's a girl, Your Worship. It's a girl, Your Worship.
Sir, I would like you to briefly tell the court what happened actually in this matter, the facts of the case.
Your Worship, it was on the 2nd of September, on Monday, Your Worship, it's about 2 weeks ago, Your Worship. The complainant, Your Worship, she alleged that she was on her way to school to drop her 2 children, Your Worship. The older one, Your Worship, it's a 6-year-old female, and then the other one, Your Worship, it's a 5-year-old male, Your Worship. As she has just arrived at the school, Your Worship, to drop her children, Your Worship, an unknown African male, Your Worship, came from behind. He grabbed a 5-year-old, and then he immediately let the 5-year-old go and then grabbed the 6-year-old little girl, Your Worship. He ran, Your Worship, inside a white Toyota Fortuner that was parked just behind her, Your Worship. Police officers were called at the scene, Your Worship, and a case of kidnapping, Your Worship, was reported. As per Vanderbijlpark case 22 of 9, Your Worship, 2019. The police, Your Worship, managed to trace the vehicle, Your Worship, without blood, Your Worship, as there was no number plate, Your Worship, on the vehicle at that stage, Your Worship. The father of the victim that was taken, Your Worship, the 6-year-old, Your Worship, on the same day, Your Worship, at about 09:17, Your Worship, just say an hour, 30 minutes or 2 hours after the child was, kidnapped, Your Worship. They received a call from...
So when you say 09:17, you mean in the morning?
Your Worship?
9:17 a.m.
9:17 a.m., Your Worship.
Continue, sir.
Your Worship, you received a call from an unknown number, Your Worship. It's a 064 number, Your Worship. Maybe Your Worship may allow me not to go to numbers in details, Your Worship, for the purpose of bail application, Your Worship. I'm sure the trial court can deal with that, Your Worship. From 064 number, Your Worship, it was an African male, Your Worship, voice on the other side of the phone. He demanded a 2 million ransom to release the child, Your Worship. The father informed the police about the incident, Your Worship, and then we use our technical support unit, Your Worship, to locate the exact place that call was made, Your Worship. Your Worship, it led us just, I think it's about 10 to 15 kilometers outside Vanderbijlpark, Your Worship, Sebokende, Your Worship. That was the call was made, Your Worship. We arrived there, Your Worship, we traced, we couldn't find the white Ford Runner, Your Worship. Your Worship, during the course of investigation at that time, Your Worship, we managed to get the records, Your Worship, of the number that contacted, the ransom number that contacted the father of the victim, Your Worship. We found out, Your Worship, that number, Your Worship, used to call somebody, woman, Your Worship, that is related, closely related to accused number 1, Your Worship. Your Worship, she told us that 3 days before, Your Worship, she received a call from the same number, Your Worship, the ransom phone number, Your Worship. That person, Your Worship, portrayed himself as a principal of her child, Your Worship. Your Worship, there was also a strange number, Your Worship,
Sorry,
that the
principal portrayed herself as the principal of her child or a child. What did you say?
She portrayed, that person, Your Worship,
Yes.
he portrayed himself, Your Worship, as the principal of her child, the lady that went to
lady's
a
child,
visited Lord, Your Worship. Your Worship, there was also a number that was inserted in that handset, Your Worship, that was making a call because we had already have the IME number, Your Worship, of the handset that was used to make it the ransom, Your Worship. We found out that that number, Your Worship, was once used, that handset, Your Worship, that cell phone, Your Worship, was once used by accused number 2, Your Worship. Your Worship, we proceeded to accused number 2's house resident, Your Worship. Upon our arrival there, Your Worship, we found accused number 1, accused number 3, accused number 2 present at the same time, Your Worship. The 3 of them, Your Worship, present there.
Before you proceed, sir, what time was this then?
Your Worship, when we arrived to accused number 2 house resident, Your Worship, it was just after 11 o'clock, Your Worship. Say midnight, Your Worship. On the same day, Your Worship.
Proceed, sir.
Your Worship, asked accused number 2, Your Worship, the handset that she's using, Your Worship, she gave us a number of handset, Your Worship. But we realized that the handset that we are looking for, Your Worship, wasn't there. Your Worship, we then left accused number 2 house resident, Your Worship, and we left the 3 of them still there, Your Worship. That was around 1:30, say just before 1 a.m., Your Worship, on the 3rd. Worship, when we arrived at the station, say just around half past 1, Worship, a.m., and then 2 unknown males, the couple, two couples, Worship, male and a female, Worship, and then arrived at the station with the child, Worship. Your worship, they allege that they found a child, your worship, near a tavern here in Vanderbijlpark that is called Infinity, your worship. It's in Shakespeare Street, your worship. It's about, say, a kilometer from this court, your worship.
Sorry, so you said Infinity, what is Infinity now?
It's Infinity Pub, your worship.
Pub.
Yeah, it's a pub, your worship.
Yes.
Your worship, we then took the child, your worship, for medical examination, your worship, just to exclude or include any possible injuries, your worship, from the child. The medical examiner, your worship, confirmed to the state that the child had no any physical injuries, your worship. Your worship, on the fourth, your worship, I think it was on Wednesday, your worship, and then on the fourth, your worship, on Wednesday, your worship, we made a tracing, your worship, to go deeper and deeper in this matter, your worship. We got assistance from the specialized unit within the South African Police Service, your worship. Intelligence was there, your worship. The K9 was also there, your worship. We then met and strategized, your worship. At that time, your worship, we had already obtained cell phone records of the handset that was used, your worship, through an application, your worship, section 205, your worship, 51 of 1977, your worship, was made in a magistrate in this court, your worship. Your worship, the records, your worship, let us back again, your worship, to accused number 2, house resident, your worship. When we arrived there, your worship, we asked her, your worship, the same questions that we have put before her, your worship, on a Monday night, your worship. But now, other than Monday, your worship, we're recording on paper, your worship. Accused number 2, your worship, then informed us, your worship, that yes, she was involved in this commission of offense, your worship. She further told us, your worship, that it was not her idea, it was accused number 1's idea, your worship. She was immediately arrested, your worship, for kidnapping and extortion, your worship. Your worship, she also mentioned that accused number 3 was also present at that time, your worship. We went to accused number 3's house resident, your worship. They reside in the same street, your worship. It's about just 2 plots apart from them, maybe 2 or 3 plots apart from them, your worship. When we arrived there, your worship, there was an African male inside the house, your worship. As we entered the house, your worship, he just ran. The house was locked, your worship. There were already beds parked, your worship, in a sitting room. No furniture at all at that stage inside the house, your worship.
So you want to say beds?
Can you hear me?
Beds. What was in the room?
No, it was only one bed, Your Worship.
One bed.
And then it was just bags that were packed there, Your Worship,
Bags.
for clothes, Your Worship, and then nothing more, Your Worship.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Continue.
We searched the house, Your Worship. Inside the house, Your Worship, we recovered the firearm, Your Worship. The firearm was placed at the SAP-13 later on, Your Worship. And then accused number 1, Your Worship, took us to, accused number 2, Your Worship, took us to accused number 1's house residence, Your Worship. Upon our arrival there, Your Worship, we also introduced ourselves as police officers, Your Worship, and explains our reason to be there to accuse number 1, Your Worship.
Mr. Mutlong, so your test 3's house together with accused
Was present.
From there, you went with accused number.
Firstly, going to accuse number 1. Accused number 3, Your Worship, was not.
All right, just for clarity,
Yes, Your Worship.
Constable, you know the 3 accused sitting.
I know them very well, Your
Let us
Worship.
not get confused then.
Yes, Your
right?
Worship.
We are referring to the accused as accused number 1, accused
Two.
number 2, and accused number 3.
Correct, Your
Right?
Worship.
So your testimony is that you testified that you went to accused number 2, who admitted to the involvement,
Yes, Your Worship.
and that it was not her idea, it was actually accused number 1's idea,
Correct, Your
and she
Worship.
was arrested.
Accused number 2, Your
Two.
Worship. Yes, Your Worship. She
And
was
then from there, where did you go? To
Then
accused number 3,
we went to accused number 3 house resident, Your Worship.
that you found empty.
We found
And the one male.
African male, yes, Your Worship, that ran away, Your Worship.
And from there, you went together with accused number 2.
To accused number 1's house resident, Your Worship.
We are on the same page then.
Thank you,
Continue.
Your Worship, when we arrived at accused number 1's resident, Your Worship, she was with her daughter, Your Worship, about 8-year-old, Your Worship. Your Worship, we asked her about what accused number 2 told us, Your Worship. Your Worship, she told us that she was owing some Nigerian guy, Your Worship. That Nigerian guy, Your Worship, threatened to kidnap her child, and he can make a lot of money out of her daughter, Your Worship. She needed money to bail out her daughter at that stage, Your Worship. And then she planned the whole kidnapping thing, Your Worship. They were all, I mean, both of them were now arrested, Your Worship, and then they were detained, Your Worship. We then went to accused number 3, Your Worship, house resident. That was, say, on the 5th, Your Worship, early hours of the morning, just after between 1 and 2, somewhere there, Your Worship.
So you went back there.
Your Worship?
You went back to accused number 3's house.
Correct, Your Worship. Because we were already tracking his movement, Your Worship. We knew where he was, Your Worship. When he arrived at home, we knew that he was there, Your Worship. When we arrived there, we found accused number 3, Your Worship. He was there with his wife, Your Worship. He was also arrested, Your Worship, for kidnapping and extortion, Your Worship. That is basically how we found ourselves here, Your Worship.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Then how are these 3 accused before court linked according to you, in this matter, or the strength of the case against them?
Your Worship, let me start with accused number 1, Your Worship. Your Worship, accused number 1, Your Worship, according to a state witness, Your Worship, that will come before trial court, Your Worship, she will come to this court, Your Worship, and state that when the kidnapping was planned, Your Worship, she was also there. It was the 4 of them, Your Worship. And during that time, Your Worship, the initial plan, Your Worship, was to kidnap accused number 1, Your Worship, by accused number 1, by accused number 2 and 3, Your Worship.
So just go a bit slowly here.
Okay.
The state witness, will testify.
Will testify that, Your Worship, when the planning of kidnapping started, Your Worship, she was present, Your Worship. And then the initial plan, Your Worship, was to kidnap accused number 1, Your Worship, by accused number 2 and 3, so that the family of accused number 1, Your Worship, can come and bail out accused number 1, Your Worship. Do you get me, Your Worship?
Yes, I'm following you, but accused number 1 was also present.
Was also present, Your Worship. It was accused number 1, Your Worship, accused number 2, Your Worship, accused number 3, Your Worship, and another state witness, Your Worship. They were sitting, all 4 of them, Your Worship.
Yes.
And then accused number 1 came with proposal that accused number 2 and 3 must kidnap her so that her family, Your Worship, of accused number 1 can come and bail her out, Your Worship. While they were sitting there, Your Worship, the plan, accused number 1 changed the plan also, Your Worship. She then opted, Your Worship, for someone in her family, Your Worship, very, very close to her brother, Your Worship, knowing that her brother will come and bail that person out, Your Worship. That was plan number 2, Your Worship. They tried that plan, Your Worship, but that person did not come on board, Your Worship. That's why initially, Your Worship, that number led us to a certain plot, Your Worship. When I said, Your Worship, our first address, Your Worship, was at a certain plot, Your Worship, where that family member, Your Worship, is very, very close to accused number 1, Your Worship. That is the same person, Your Worship, that they tried to kidnap on the first, Your Worship.
Carry on, sir.
Then, Your Worship, that person did not come on board, Your Worship. It was now on a Sunday night, Your Worship, when the whole plan that Amy'Leigh found herself in, Your Worship, the 6-year-old child, Your Worship. Your Worship, they then met and discussed the plan. What is it that they're gonna do now, Your Worship? Accused number 1, Your Worship, opted to, gave information that this a child in my class. Her parents are very, very somehow rich, Your Worship. And then let's go for that child, Your Worship.
This was now plane number 3.
Number 3, Your Worship, on a Sunday, Your Worship. On the 1st, Your Worship, of September. The plan was executed on Monday morning, Your Worship. On Monday morning, Your Worship, around 7 o'clock, Your Worship, accused number 1 and accused number 2 and accused number 3, Your Worship, met at a certain complex here in Vanderbijlpark, Your Worship.
If I may interject, this information that you are giving the court now is going to be testified or confirmed by the state witness that was planning or was there when they planned this kidnapping?
Your worship, all the content of what I'm saying, your worship, they are inside the docket, your worship. The state will bring all the witnesses, your worship. Okay.
Yes, but what Mr. Ngobo is requesting clarity on is that whatever you're telling us now is what the state witness is going to testify to.
Correct, your worship. Your worship, when they arrived at that complex, your worship, accused number 1, your worship, accused number 2, your worship, she's driving a white Ford Ranger, your worship, with the same description that the complainant, your worship, the mother of the victim, your worship, gave it to the police. Accused number 3, your worship, was driving a white Tata, your worship, small vehicle, your worship. Can't tell the model. A small vehicle. That's where accused number 2 and 3 exchanged the vehicle. Accused number 3, your worship, was now driving the white Ford Ranger. Accused number 2, your worship, went back with the Tata that belongs to accused number 3, your worship. Accused number 3, your worship, was now with another black, or we just say another African male, your worship, that he recruited along, he recruited on the same day of the 2nd in the morning, your worship, as the person is also residing where accused number 3 is residing, your worship.
Before you proceed again, sir, I just want clarity. This African male, you're saying he is residing where accused number 3 is residing?
Yes, your worship. Accused number 3 was owning a plot, your worship, at that stage. And then I will refer him as a still outstanding suspect, your worship. He was staying just behind, just on the back of accused number 3's house residence, your worship.
Was he renting there or he was employed? Can you just clarify if you have knowledge of that?
Your worship, I can't tell whether he was employed or unemployed, but I don't think he was employed by accused number 3, your worship, because he's unemployed either way, your worship.
That is, accused number 3 is unemployed?
Yes, correct, your worship. He's unemployed. And then that was when this African male, your worship, was only used, your worship, just to grab the child. And then off they ran, your worship. Off he ran to the Fortuna, white Toyota Fortuna. It was only that outstanding suspect, your worship, and accused number 3, your worship. Accused number 1 was still at school at that time, your worship.
Warrant officer, you stated now the white Fortuna.
Yes, white Toyota Fortuna.
What is how did the Fortuna get involved now?
Your worship,
you testified earlier that they were in a white Ford Ranger and a white Tata.
Your worship, if I may correct the Ranger one, your worship, it was white Toyota Fortuna, your worship. Thanks for clarity, your worship. It was white Toyota Fortuna, your worship, not a Ranger, your worship.
So it wasn't a white Ford Ranger, it was a white Fortuna.
It was a Fortuna, your worship.
All right, continue, sir.
That white Fortuna Ranger, your worship, it belongs to accused number. That white Fortuna, Toyota Fortuna, your worship, it belongs to accused number 2, your worship.
Is that all for accused number 1? That's what you said.
Yes, Your Worship. To put it again, Your Worship, accused number 1, Your Worship, amongst all the 3 of them, Your Worship, she is the only one, Your Worship, that knows the family of the victim, Your Worship, very well, Your Worship. Accused number 2 and 3 had no contact at all, Your Worship, with the victim's family, Your Worship. Also, Your Worship, accused number 2, Your Worship, accused number 1, Your Worship, the younger brother of the victim, Your Worship, the 5-year-old, Your Worship, he is in the class of accused number 1, Your Worship. She's a friend with, she's a close friend, Your Worship, with accused number 2. She even knows accused number 3, Your Worship. I'm referring to accused number 1 now, Your Worship. According to our cell phone records, Your Worship, that were obtained through Section 205, Your Worship, the mother of the victim, Your Worship, she was somehow, the child was somehow kidnapped at about, say, 0741, Your Worship. Surprisingly, Your Worship, at about 3 minutes, just after 3 minutes, the incident happened, Your Worship. Accused number 1 contacted accused number 2, Your Worship, for about 47 seconds, Your Worship. Your Worship, let me go to accused number 2, Your Worship. Your Worship, accused number 2, Your Worship, in terms of Section 217, Your Worship, at 51 of 1977, Your Worship, the provision of confession were made. She went to the magistrate, Your Worship.
Let us, for purposes of clarity and simplicity, just call it the Criminal Procedure Act.
Okay, Your Worship. Thank you, Your Worship. She made confession, Your Worship, to the magistrate, Your Worship. Her vehicle was also identified, Your Worship, on the CCTV. She once used the handset, Your Worship, that was used to make the ransom, Your Worship. Accused number 3, Your Worship, he made a formal pointing out, Your Worship. We managed to get the cell phone that was used, Your Worship, inside the mainstream water, Your Worship. It was already broken, Your Worship, but we did get the content of that cell phone in pieces, Your Worship. The state has also, Your Worship, an independent eyewitness, Your Worship, that saw the child, Your Worship, in accused number 3 house resident, Your Worship, during the course of that day. She pointed the child as that she saw on the 2nd at accused number 3 house resident, Your Worship. That's how they are linked to stage, Your Worship.
Before you indicated that you didn't recover the white Toyota Fortuner that was used. What happened? Was it recovered or was it not recovered? And if it was recovered, can you tell the court how it was recovered?
Your Worship, The Ford Ranger, Your Worship, it was recovered.
I'm referring now to the Fortuna, not the Ford Ranger.
I'm sorry, Your Worship, I'm driving a Ford Ranger, Your Worship, so I would not.
I hope you were not involved. Carry on, sir.
Okay, Your Worship, a white Toyota Fortuna, Your Worship. No. On the second, Your Worship, the day when the child was kidnapped, Your Worship, when we arrived at accused number 2 house resident, Your Worship, when we found the 3 of them there, Your Worship, the vehicle was parked inside the garage, Your Worship. It was there. When we also went to accused number 3 house resident, Your Worship, upon his arrest, Your Worship, on the 5th early hours of the morning, the white Tata, Your Worship, was also there. Let me also put it to court that the child, the victim, Your Worship, the child, in her affidavit, Your Worship, she stated that they somehow exchanged inside a small car, white in color. But because of being a minor, Your Worship, she cannot differentiate the model of the vehicle, Your Worship.
Now let's go to the addresses. You'll go by from accused number 1, 2, and 3. Can you tell the court that where you finished with the addresses, did you verify such and furthermore?
Your Worship, the only address that I know for the only address that I know for accused number 1, Your Worship, is the address that she gave to state, Your Worship, where she was renting a plot, Your Worship, where she was arrested on the 4th, Your Worship. No any other address, Your Worship, that was given to the state, Your Worship. Accused number 2, Your Worship, she told
Before
the
you
state.
proceed, sir, before you proceed to accused number 2, this address where he said you arrested accused number 1, do you know the owner of that plot, or did you manage to get hold of the person who owns that plot?
Your Worship, I visited that address several times, Your Worship. I did not find anyone in that address.
Then you can proceed, sir.
Is this now the address as it's reflected on the J15 charge?
Correct, Your Worship. Accused number 2, Your Worship, she is residing with her father at her father's plot, Your Worship, where she was arrested. Accused number 3, Your Worship, we later found out that her plot, Your Worship, was sold, Your Worship. In fact, the crime was committed on the 2nd. He had to leave the plot, Your Worship, on Wednesday, Your Worship. When we went there on Wednesday, Your Worship, there was also a new owner that was somehow cleaning the plot. He had to move out, Your Worship.
Besides the addresses that they were given to you or the investigating officer or the arresting officers or by the accused before court, was there any other alternative addresses, especially for accused number 2 and 3, as you have already indicated that accused number 1 only gave one? Was there any other address that was given to you by accused number 2 and 3?
Your Worship, none of them gave me any address, Your Worship, or the defense gave me address, Your Worship, to go and verify, Your Worship. But let me put it to this court, Your Worship, that I once visited accused number 3's wife, Your Worship, where she's currently residing, Your Worship. I met the entire family there, Your Worship. They told me, Your Worship, that they don't want to see accused number 3 there, Your Worship, because they have small children, Your Worship. Where his wife is currently residing, Your Worship.
Did they give you any other alternative or any other person that knows accused number 3?
Your Worship, I gave them my number, Your Worship. They said they will contact me, Your Worship, and give me another address in Forshville, Your Worship. I'm not sure how far is Forshville from here. Maybe it's about 45 to 50 km, but it's outside Vanderbijlpark, Your Worship. They said they will give me that address to verify, Your Worship. I did not receive any call from the family, Your Worship.
But this address in Forkville was an address that was supposed to be given to you by the family of accused number 3
Yes, Your
as
Worship.
an alternative address.
As an alternative address, Your Worship.
I know it's a Schedule 1 offense, but I would like you to also clarify on record as to whether the accused before court has previous no pending cases against them.
Your Worship, accused number 1, Your Worship, she doesn't have any previous. Even though I haven't received the formal SAP 69, Your Worship, but when I check CRIM, Your Worship, there's a system that we call it CRIM within South African Police, Your Worship. It's Crime Information Record Management, Your Worship. If you was arrested, Your Worship, it will give us all the details of any offences that might be involved, whether it's a complainant or as an accused, Your Worship. She's clean, Your Worship. She doesn't have any pending or she has ever been arrested before, Your Worship.
Thank you.
Accused number 2 also, Your Worship, according to CRIM, Your Worship, she also doesn't have any previous conviction, Your Worship. Accused number 3, Your Worship, is a previous conviction, Your Worship, of theft, Your Worship. I think it happened in 2005. Can't remember the exact day, Your Worship. The only SAP 69, Your Worship, can give us the clear indication.
Is that the only one previous conviction?
Yeah, it's one, Your Worship.
Do you think the accused before court could be a flight risk? If so, can you tell the court why? Do you think they could?
Your Worship, all 3 accused before you, Your Worship, they are facing a very, very serious charges, Your Worship. Kidnapping and extortion, Your Worship. A trial court, Your Worship, if found guilty, Your Worship, it can impose a sentence, Your Worship, anything between 15 years and life sentence, Your Worship. It's minor that was kidnapped, Your Worship. Your Worship, this morning, Your Worship, there's a lot of outcry, Your Worship, there's a lot of outcry, Your Worship, from the community outside, Your Worship, regarding crime against women and children, Your Worship. putting in mind also, Your Worship, that just like yesterday, Your Worship, the Parliament, there had to be a special Parliament, Your Worship, just to discuss crime against women and children, Your Worship. The community, Your Worship, is demanding justice, Your Worship. Your Worship, the state witnesses, Your Worship, some of them, Your Worship, are close family members, Your Worship, of all these accused before you, Your Worship. Your Worship, we feel that if they may be released on bail, Your Worship, they might directly or indirectly, Your Worship, interfere with investigation, Your Worship, and somehow intimidate some of the state witnesses, Your Worship.
You indicated that the community is demanding justice. Why do you say that? What are the
Worship,
reasons?
This case, Your Worship, is one of the biggest cases in South Africa, Your Worship. When women went to go and march, Your Worship, I can't remember whether it was last week, Your Worship. This is one of the cases, Your Worship, that was raised, Your Worship, in that march, Your Worship. Some of them are here outside, Your Worship, across from different organizations, Your Worship, picketing, Your Worship. Their safety, Your Worship, cannot be guaranteed, Your Worship. The safety of the children, Your Worship, outside, if they can be released on, Your Worship, on bail, Your Worship, it's in danger, Your Worship. This was a crime that was planned, Your Worship. It's not a crime that simply happened, it was pre-planned, Your Worship. To extend that a victim, Your Worship, became someone that is very, very, very close, Your Worship, to accused number one, Your Worship. Someone that accused number one knows very, very, very well, Your Worship. Your Worship, if they try to put accused number one's life in danger by kidnapping her, Your Worship, to an extent that they even went to try, Your Worship, to kidnap a close family member of accused number one, Your Worship, to eventually kidnap, Your Worship, a child that is very close to accused number one, Your Worship. Everyone is not safe around them, Your Worship. On those grounds, Your Worship, I'll request the court.
I just want to go back a little bit back to the addresses. Should they come and say to the court that they have alternative addresses where they will go and stay, would you change your mind about this bail application or opposing this bail?
Your Worship, let me put it like I went to accused number one's family, Your Worship, where her child was taken to, Your Worship, upon her arrest, Your Worship. The family is very angry on their own, Your Worship. Very, very angry, Your Worship. Accused number two's sister also, Your Worship, she's very, very angry about what transpired, Your Worship, her involvement in this matter, Your Worship. Accused number three, Your Worship, there is no immediate family member for him this side, Your Worship. He's from Cape, Your Worship. He was married this side. His plot has recently been sold, Your Worship. He didn't even get nothing for the plot, Your Worship. He can't go anywhere, Your Worship.
I just want to know the condition of this 6-year-old after the kidnapping. How is she now? Did you manage to consult the parents or manage to see the child or know what is happening with her after this kidnapping?
Your Worship, I'm in contact with the parents of the child, Your Worship, almost on daily basis, Your Worship. Sometimes through the phone, sometimes they come to my office, Your Worship. According to the father, Your Worship, he even showed me 4 different pictures of her daughter, Your Worship, prior to this incident and until now, Your Worship. He told me that her child, Your Worship, has never been the same. This did not only affect the child that was kidnapped, Your Worship. Her younger brother, Your Worship, was also present when the kidnapping occurred, Your Worship. He was also affected, Your Worship. The entire school of Kollegepark, Your Worship, is affected, Your Worship. The whole South Africa is affected, Your Worship.
As you brought the school where accused number 1 was teaching, did you manage to liaise with the school, maybe the principal of the school, and what is their feeling about this incident? Okay.
Like I said, Your Worship, that the school, Your Worship, the school governing body, Your Worship, the principal, Your Worship, the Department of Education, provincial, Your Worship, the MEC, Your Worship, everyone, Your Worship, it's angry, Your Worship. This incident, Your Worship, happened just at the gate of the school, Your Worship, where kids should be safe, more safe than ever, Your Worship. It happened there, Your Worship. A lot of children's life, Your Worship, were put at risk, Your Worship, at that stage.
Do you have any knowledge as to how this incident affected the school itself because of this kidnapping?
Your Worship, I was with the principal yesterday, Your Worship. Your Worship, he told me that it affected them badly, Your Worship. They are still trying to pick, pieces, Your Worship, put them together, Your Worship. There are a lot of kids, Your Worship, that are attending that school, Your Worship, from grade RR, Your Worship, until grade 7 or 8, somewhere there, Your Worship. It affected everybody, Your Worship.
And I would like to know if you know or have knowledge of the parents of the children that the feeling of the parents of the children that are taken to that school. How do they feel about this incident that occurred at the school?
Your Worship, like I said, that it affected them badly, Your Worship. On the same day that it happened, Your Worship, the MEC had to come, Your Worship. A student governing body, Your Worship, had to meet, like everything had to meet, Your Worship. Everybody's affected, Your Worship.
Do you have anything that you want to add? Or that the state maybe forgot? Or that you feel you need to add in this matter?
No, Your Worship, I think I'm good.
I will have no further questions, Your Worship, for this witness.
Thank you, Ms. Jager.
Your Worship, I see it's almost after 1:10, Your Worship. I'm not sure whether we'll have to adjourn for lunch or we will have to proceed, Your Worship. I believe other people who want to go on lunch, Your Worship.
Well, in terms of same, I think it's better before we proceed with cross-examination that we possibly adjourn for lunch and we can resume again at 2 o'clock.
That's the proposition.
Hoi! Eerste keer, ik ben
We are back on record on the matter. Mr. May, are you ready to proceed?
Please, the court, Your Worship.
Just before you proceed, Mr. May, Mr. Motlaung, the legal representative for accused number 1 will now proceed with cross-examination. He will ask you certain questions for purposes of cross-examination, and or he will put certain versions to you. Right? Listen to the question completely, fully first, or the version, and then you will be given a reasonable opportunity to answer thereto and or to respond thereto. Right. Thank you.
As it pleases the court, Your Worship. Constable Motlaung, please correct me if I'm wrong, but do I understand your evidence correctly that you object against the bail of the 3 accused, and specifically accused number 1 in this case, for the following reasons? That the safety, or that accused number 1 will endanger the safety of the public or any particular person, or she will commit another Schedule 1 offence. Is that correct?
Mr. May, sorry, just to interrupt Mr. Motlaung, sorry, the court would like to remind you that you are still under oath.
Understand, Your Worship.
Thank you.
Your Worship, if the defense may repeat
Repeat the question.
Do I understand your evidence correct? The basis on what you object towards the bail of accused number 1 is based on the following: the fact that the accused number 1 will endanger the safety of the public or any particular person. Is that correct?
Well, it's one of the reasons, Your Worship.
Yes. But that's one of the legs to be tested. You also base your objection towards bail, if I understand your evidence correctly, that the accused number 1 will attempt to evade her trial. Is that correct?
It's one of the reasons, Your Worship.
And I further understand your evidence that your objection is based on the fact that accused number 1 will attempt to influence or intimidate witnesses or to conceal or destroy evidence. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Worship.
I did not gather your evidence to be that if the accused number 1 is released from bail, that it will undermine or jeopardize the objectives of the proper functioning of the criminal justice system, including the bail system. I did not get that as a basis on what you object to the bail.
If I may answer, Your Worship. Your Worship, I might did not put it like the defense is putting, Your Worship, but I put it in this manner, Your Worship, that it might take states a longer time, Your Worship, to get the result of this case, Your Worship. I think it's more or less what the defense is asking. I might not have put it in that manner, Your Worship.
Do I understand your evidence correct now that if accused number 1 is released from bail, it will take you longer to finalize the matter?
Your Worship, one of the reasons that I put before this court, Your Worship, was that the accused number 1, Your Worship, she a flight risk, Your Worship. Correct, Your Worship. It might take longer, Your Worship, in case, Your Worship, she decides to disappear, Your Worship.
She might disappear.
She might, Your Worship. There's nothing that keeps that will stop accused number 1 from fleeing, Your Worship. She doesn't have property in this, Your Worship. She only has a child, Your Worship, and the child is well taken care of at home, Your Worship. There's nothing that is going to keep within the district of.
What you're saying now is, because she has no property, she's a flight risk.
Your Worship, what I'm saying is that they are facing a very, very serious charges, Your Worship. That if found guilty, Your Worship, they might be convicted to 15 to life, up to 15 to life sentence, Your Worship. And in some cases, Your Worship, we have struggled, Your Worship, to rearrest, Your Worship, people that are facing this kind of sentences, Your Worship, after they have fled, Your Worship. There's a likelihood, Your Worship, that she might disappear, Your Worship.
She might flee the country.
Correct, Your Worship.
And you base that on the reason it's a serious offence or a serious charge, and the sentences is very serious.
Correct, Your Worship.
That's the one leg, and the other leg is because she has no assets here.
Nothing that will keep her in this district, Your Worship.
Have you checked whether she is in possession of a passport?
She said she doesn't have one, Your Worship.
Have you checked that, sir?
Not yet, Your Worship.
So you accept the word for that?
Yes, Your Worship.
You will agree it will be much more difficult to flee the country without a passport.
Your Worship, we have had people, Your Worship, fleeing this country, Your Worship, without passport, Your Worship.
You've had people in the country, in this case, you've referenced the case for the one.
Your Worship, what I'm saying is that there's been instances, Your Worship, where people will come into this country, Your Worship, with or without relevant papers, Your Worship. Some will leave country, Your Worship, with or without relevant papers, Your Worship.
So the fact that the accused number one has a child, daughter of 8 years old, that is a major asset. Don't you think so?
Your Worship, a child, Your Worship, will not keep the accused from fleeing, Your Worship. The child is taken care of, Your Worship, at accused number one's parents' residence, Your Worship.
Because the child is taken care of, she still will be in a position to flee.
Can you repeat, Your Worship?
That will also be the situation for any accused person. If he's in possession of assets or anything like that, he can flee the country.
It's possible, Your Worship.
It's possible. But there's no concrete evidence that you have that she will flee the country. No indication of any witness or anyone that she will flee the country.
Your Worship, there is a likelihood, Your Worship, that she might.
Only likelihood. Have you tried to ascertain what is the value of the assets that the accused number one have?
No, Your Worship.
Why not?
We did not, Your Worship.
You testify she has no assets.
Your Worship, I'm talking about the place where she's residing, the house resident, Your Worship.
Oh, so you're talking about immovable property.
Correct, Your Worship.
No other assets. You haven't checked on that.
The only asset that I know of, Your Worship, is the motor vehicle that she's currently paying, Your Worship.
What did you say is the value of that motor vehicle?
Your Worship, I'm not good in terms of, evaluating vehicles, Your Worship. I can't.
So will you accept, if I put it to you, that it is a 2005 Nissan Micra, which we think is the approximate value of that is about 80,000 rand. Will you accept that?
Your Worship, I will accept it, Your Worship.
And movable property, that is furniture and any other movable property, you haven't checked on that.
No, Your Worship. When I spoke with her, Your Worship, she told me that she's only renting that place, Your Worship. She only came there with the clothes, Your Worship, like the clothes, Your
Clothing on her
Worship.
body.
Can you hear me?
The clothing on her body.
Yes, Your Worship.
Will you just repeat that? What is the situation?
Your Worship, she said she only came there with the clothes, Your Worship. The plot and everything there, Your Worship, doesn't belong. I mean, the property inside, the furniture and everything inside the plot where she's residing, Your Worship, doesn't belong to her.
Did you ask her that?
I did ask her, Your Worship.
It's my instruction to put it to you, that's not true.
I did ask her, Your Worship.
You agree that the place that where she was arrested was the place that she was rented?
I agree, Your Worship.
And that place was furnished?
It was a fully finished plot, Your Worship.
My instructions is, and I put it to you, that the furniture belongs to the accused.
Your Worship, what she told me, Your Worship, was that she only came there with a plot, Your Worship. The plot, Your Worship, she rented it, Your Worship, with the furniture inside, Your Worship.
Sir, have you checked on the family of the accused number one? Did you try to establish from the accused or visited any of the family of accused number one?
Your Worship, upon her arrest, Your Worship, on the 4th, Your Worship, on the 5th, if not the 6th, Your Worship, 2 days or a day, the following day, Your Worship, I was at accused number one's mother's house resident, Your Worship, in a plot, Your Worship. I was there, Your Worship. I did visit the address, Your Worship, just to make sure, Your Worship, that because when she was arrested, Your Worship, her daughter was also there, and then her daughter left with her brother. So I needed to make sure also that her daughter is also safe, Your Worship.
That plot, you should refer to it. Is it registered in the name of the mother and her husband? Are they the owners of the plot, in other words?
I would say so, Your Worship. I will agree on that.
Except for them, have we tried to establish whether the accused number one have any other family in Vanderbijlpark or the surrounding area?
Your Worship, the only person that I know is the brother of accused number one, Your Worship. She's residing somewhere in Bentley in the state, Your Worship. I only found out on the media, Your Worship, on the first appearance that she somehow had a father within the district of Vanderbijlpark, Your Worship. But I haven't visited the father.
The father is also staying in Vanderbijlpark.
I was told that he stays somewhere in a plot, Your Worship, within the district of Vanderbijlpark, but I haven't confirmed it to Your Worship.
Just to make it clear, the biological father and mother of accused number one, they are divorced.
I'm aware of that, Your Worship.
The sister of accused number one, where is she staying?
Your Worship, when I arrived at accused number one, mother's house resident, Your Worship, it was a brother, it was a mother, it was a stepdad. There was also a sister there. I'm not sure, and a brother also, Your Worship. Say between the age of 25 and 30, somewhere there, Your Worship. So I couldn't tell whether how related they are with accused number one.
You testified that there is a state witness, very well known to accused. Is she a family member, or he or she a family member?
She's a family member, Your Worship, of accused number one, Your Worship.
And that family member, where is that family member staying, residing?
Your Worship, she's residing in a plot, Your Worship, say about 2 kilometers from between 1 kilo and 2 kilometers, Your Worship, from accused number one's mother's house resident, Your Worship. Still in the plot, Your Worship.
If bail is set, or let me ask you this, if bail is set and the court could impose certain conditions for the accused to adhere to, can that flight risk be limited?
No, Your Worship.
Why not?
Your Worship, as I said before, Your Worship, that the accused number one, Your Worship, is facing a serious charge. The state, Your Worship, has a strong case, Your Worship, against the involvement of all three of them, Your Worship, in this matter, Your Worship. And we are confident that when we go to a trial court, Your Worship, we will request, Your Worship, anything other than 15 to life sentence, Your Worship.
So you will agree with me, kidnapping and extortion is not that prevalent in this court jurisdiction.
I can't hear you, Your Worship. Can you repeat, Your Worship?
Do you agree with me? Kidnapping and extortion the charges that accused number 1 is facing. That charges, that offences, they're not that prevalent in this court jurisdiction. Do you agree?
Yes, you may simplify for me
Mr. McLong, what Mr. May is saying, that the charge or the offences with which accused number 1 is being charged with, that is kidnapping and extortion, is not a common offence within the Vanderbijlpark area or jurisdiction. It's not offences that we find coming on our court rolls maybe on a daily or weekly basis.
Your Worship, it might not be our Your Worship, but there are a lot of women, Your Worship, that have been kidnapped and raped, Your Worship, in this jurisdiction of Vanderbijlpark, Your Worship. A lot of cases in the regional court here at Vanderbijlpark, Your Worship.
Kidnap cases.
Kidnap and rape cases, when they go hand in hand, Your Worship.
So I want to put it to you that kidnapping cases is not that prevalent, not that common in this court jurisdiction, even in the regional court.
Your Worship, I work at family violence, child protection, and sexual assault, Your Worship. We discuss this matter almost each and every day. The defense might not be aware, Your Worship. A lot of women and children, Your Worship, are being kidnapped, Your Worship.
And that lot of people, women that's been kidnapped, were the cases open of kidnapping? Or were the cases open for rape?
Your Worship, normally they go hand in hand, Your Worship, with the kidnapping and rape, Your Worship. Either rape and kidnapping, Your Worship.
Just answer the question then. Were the cases open for kidnapping and rape, or just kidnapping?
Your Worship, kidnapping and rape, Your Worship. In some instances, Your Worship, rape and kidnapping, Your Worship.
In some offences, the act of minimum sentences is applicable. We're aware of that. Some offences, the act of minimum sentences is applicable. That means it's prescribed sentence unless there's substantial and compelling circumstances to deviate from that. In cases of murder, for instance, where the act of minimum sentences is applicable, you agree that people do get bail?
Your Worship. Yes, Your Worship. It will be court's right, Your Worship, to correct. I agree, Your Worship. In some cases, they do get.
Yes. And in a lot of cases, they do get bail. Will you agree?
I'm not sure if it's a lot of cases, Your Worship, but I've seen people getting bail, Your Worship, facing such cases.
And that are also cases where they face minimum sentences of at least 15 years for the first offender. So, I want to get to the family member. That family member made a statement with you. Did she give you an affidavit?
Which one, Your Worship?
A family member that's close to accused number 1.
Correct, Your Worship.
So
the affidavit of the family member, Your Worship.
You obtained it, it forms part of your investigation, part of the docket.
Correct, Your Worship.
And that family member indicated that she's going to testify.
She will come and testify, Your Worship.
And in that regard, your investigation in this matter is far from being completed.
Your Worship, let me just say, the only thing that we are waiting for, Your Worship, is only SAP 69s, and then from TSU technical support, Your Worship, we are just waiting for cell phone downloading, Your Worship, because I'm reliably informed also, Your Worship, that there's a lot of evidence in those things, Your Worship. They might take about a week or 2, Your Worship. From there, the state will be ready, Your Worship, for.
So within a week or 2 from now, the state will be ready to set the matter for trial.
I think so, possibly so, Your Worship.
With reference to direct witnesses, like the family member of accused number 1, you do not need any other witnesses in that regard because you have already obtained the statements. Is that correct?
Your Worship, The good thing about investigation, Your Worship, is that each and every day, Your Worship, you always get new thing, Your Worship. Something might arise also, Your Worship, within the course of this investigation, Your Worship. That might lead us to go and obtain some of the statements, Your Worship.
If by the set that the court imposed a condition that accused number 1 is not allowed to directly or indirectly make contact with any of the witnesses, will that assist you?
Your Worship, we stand by our submission, Your Worship, that this court, Your Worship, does not, Your Worship, grant accused number 1 a bail, Your Worship.
I'm sorry, will you just repeat that?
All I'm saying, Your Worship, is that we stand by our submission, Your Worship, initial submission, that the court, Your Worship, mustn't, Your Worship, grant, Your Worship, accused number 1 bail, Your Worship.
But if the court grants bail, now there is a condition imposed, not for him to directly or indirectly make contact with any state witness, and the names can be provided.
We still stand from our initial submission, Your Worship, that this court must not grant bail, Your Worship.
You don't answer the question. Sir, the minor child, the 6-year-old girl, I gather from your evidence that she was not injured.
Physically, Your Worship, she was not injured, Your Worship. The place where she was left at, Your Worship, it's a very, very dangerous place, Your Worship.
Dangerous place.
Dangerous place, Your Worship. Even the place where she was kept, Your Worship, it was just a place that was not even suitable, Your Worship, for any human being, more especially a child, Your Worship. I don't think even an animal, Your Worship, would survive long in that small place where she was kept, Your Worship.
But you, I believe that you had a discussion with the child about where she was kept.
Your Worship, I had the discussion with the child.
Did she tell you that, well, were you informed whether she was alone, locked up in a room, or was there any other people with her looking after her? Did she get food, water, and so forth?
Your Worship, I think that is the matter for trial, Your Worship. The trial court will go much into details of the conditions of the child, where she was, Your Worship. We can discuss it on a trial court, Your Worship.
So that it's important. Was the child looked after while she was out of the custody of her parents?
Your Worship, I put it to you that, Your Worship, where the child was, Your Worship, was kept, Your Worship, from, Your Worship, say 8:30, Your Worship, until the following day, Your Worship, around 1:30, Your Worship. That place, Your Worship, was just, it's a place that not even a human being, Your Worship, even an animal, Your Worship, wasn't going to survive that long. She was not well taken care of, Your Worship.
Did the child tell you that?
Your Worship, the child told us exactly what happened after she was kidnapped, Your Worship. When we arrived at the crime scene where she was kept, Your Worship, we saw everything. And everything that we saw there, Your Worship, it corroborated what the child has said to us earlier on, Your Worship.
And that is that she was not looked well after.
She was not looked well after, Your Worship. Even if there was someone that was guarding her, Your Worship, in that place, Your Worship, one would still say, Your Worship, she was still not taken care of, Your Worship.
If the outcry of the community goes hand in hand with this violence against women and children, is that correct?
Correct, Your Worship.
And the outcry of the community is based on the fact that something should something should be put in place for people to be arrested and prosecuted, and when they're found guilty, they must be sentenced in a proper manner.
Your Worship, my understanding on that, the outcry of the community, is that the community is seeking justice. They want justice, Your Worship.
What justice is
They
that?
want justice, Your Worship.
What is the justice they want?
Your Worship, they want those, Your Worship, that commit crimes like this, Your Worship, to face the full might of the law, Your Worship.
So the justice they want is when there's a conviction, the court must deal with the accused person in a proper manner. That is the justice.
In a what?
Proper manner.
Your Worship, Personally, I think the justice that they want, Your Worship, is that whoever that committed crimes like this, Your Worship, they must face the mighty law, Your Worship, face what they have committed, Your Worship, in a court of law, Your Worship.
So, do you have any evidence that the accused threatened to harm anybody?
Your Worship, the child was already harmed. The first victim was the child, Your Worship, the 6-year-old, Your Worship. Her younger brother, Your Worship, a 5-year-old, Your Worship, was also harmed. This incident happened right in her eyes, Your Worship.
I understand that.
The mother of the victim, Your Worship, was also harmed, Your Worship. She sustained bruises, Your Worship, when the child was taken from her, Your Worship. The entire community was harmed, Your Worship, by what exactly transpired, Your Worship.
I think I understood the question wrong. What I mean is, if the accused is granted bail, is there any evidence? Do you have any information that she will harm anyone?
Your Worship, I might not be sure about the act, Your Worship, but under Children's Act, Your Worship, there's an act, Your Worship, that says once you are being arrested, Your Worship, for any crime, Your Worship, against children, Your Worship, children must be removed away from you, Your Worship. If she goes to any place, Your Worship, I don't think there's any other place, Your Worship, in this country where there are no children around, Your Worship.
So, your view is, if she's granted bail, case number 1, she will be a danger to any child around her.
Your Worship, she was a danger to herself first when she was wanted to be kidnapped, Your Worship. She became a danger, Your Worship, to one of the close family members, Your Worship. And then now, Your Worship, we find ourselves where, Your Worship, she endangered, Your Worship, a child, Your Worship, of someone that is very, very, very close to her, Your Worship. She's a danger to almost each and everybody, Your Worship.
Constable, please. Do you have evidence? Except for the fact, what you base your evidence on the fact that she will endanger other people because she endangered herself, on your view and on your evidence, and that of a family member of a family, a friend of a family member, and then that of the child. If she's granted bail, do you have evidence that she will harm anybody on the outside there? Any child, any other person, anyone?
Your Worship, she has already done it, Your Worship. She's here before you, Your Worship, because she has already done it, Your Worship. The state, Your Worship, has a very, very strong case against accused number 1, Your Worship.
So I put it to you, you don't want to answer the question.
Your Worship, I'm answering 31st honest as I can, Your Worship.
The accused person, number 1, stands before this court with a clean record, no previous convictions, no pending cases. You agree?
I agree, Your Worship. But like I said, Your Worship, it will only be confirmed by SAP 69, Your Worship. They were not ready. But according to Grain, Your Worship, which is less reliable like SAP 69, Your Worship, I will take it that she doesn't have any criminal record, Your Worship.
I put it to you, in my instructions, that the accused number 1 has no previous convictions and no pending cases.
I will take that, Your Worship.
Then you will agree that you cannot testify in this court that the accused number 1 has a violent nature in the past.
Your Worship, the act that was committed, Your Worship, here has a lot of violence inside it, Your Worship. The victim, Your Worship, the complainant, Your Worship, suffered injuries, Your Worship.
So, the fact that this is a high-profile case, and that's your testimony, if I understand you correctly, is because it's a high-profile case, and in a March, a day or 2 ago or last week, this case was mentioned. Because of that, it's your view that the accused should not be granted bail.
Your Worship, even if it wasn't a March, Your Worship, I will still be here before you, Your Worship. Still maintain that they must not be granted for bail, Your Worship.
That's your view.
Your Worship, the March was just a supplementary thing, Your Worship, that there's an outcry. In this morning, Your Worship, there were a lot of people outside, Your Worship.
outcry was outside the court against against the abuse of women and children. Is that correct?
The outcry, Your Worship, today, Your Worship, it was because of the matter that we are here for, Your Worship.
So, you also testified that the accused's safety cannot be guaranteed.
Correct, Your Worship.
Why do you say so?
Your Worship, like I said, Your Worship, community is very angry, Your Worship. From intelligent point of view, Your Worship, we have been informed, Your Worship, that the safety of the accused, if released on bail, Your Worship, the state cannot guarantee that, Your Worship.
What did the community say about it? Did the community threaten to kill the accused or to harm them? Or what is your evidence in this regard?
Your Worship, when accused was arrested, Your Worship, she has never faced the mighty community outside, Your Worship. She's been in custody since, Your Worship. Her going outside, Your Worship, community, Your Worship, might endanger her, Your Worship.
Might endanger.
Possible, Your Worship.
Possible. They might endanger her. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Worship.
So you do not have any evidence to that effect at all. It's only a possibility.
It's possible that, Your Worship, the community might endanger her.
Yes. So you also testified that the family of accused number one is very angry about this incident. Is that correct? And towards her.
Your Worship, the mother, the brother, the sister, and another brother also, Your Worship. Because remember, Your Worship, the kidnapping, Your Worship, the second attempt, Your Worship, was supposed to happen with one of them, Your Worship, before it could happen to Amy'Leigh, Your Worship.
So that is your version of what had happened, and that is your version, what the state witness relayed to you.
Your Worship, we have proof for that, Your Worship. We will come to trial court, Your Worship, and prove, Your Worship, that this happened, Your Worship.
So, I want to get back. So, is your testimony that the mother of accused number one is very angry?
She was, Your Worship.
And now? She's still angry?
I haven't seen her, Your Worship, because there was nothing that will make me go back to that house residence.
Are you aware of the fact that the mother of the accused visited her while she was in custody, awaiting her first appearance in court every day?
Your Worship, she told me when I was there. She asked me where she was detained. I gave her full information where she was detained, and she told me that she will go and visit. When and how she visited me, Your Worship, date and everything like that, I do not know, Your Worship. I can't.
Yes, exactly. So you will not dispute the fact that the mother visited?
I can't dispute, Your Worship. I do not know, Your Worship, whether she did or she did not.
And if it is so that the mother visited the accused during her time in the holding cells at the police station, and now while she was in San City or Johannesburg Women's Prison, while she was there, she was also visited by her mother, then it shows that the mother is still supporting the child, accused number one.
I don't know about that.
You don't know?
I don't know, Your Worship.
Did the mother tell you that she was angry?
Yes, Your Worship, she told me. She was even crying, Your Worship, when I related to her exactly what
What did she say? Tell the court, what did she say?
Your Worship, when I told her the involvement of her daughter in this crime, Your Worship, she couldn't believe it, Your Worship. One thing that she told me, Your Worship, was that she has been suspecting, Your Worship, that her daughter is using drugs, Your Worship. But she never had proof, Your Worship. When these Nigerian stories came and everything like that, Your Worship, she was simply crossed, Your Worship, very angry.
She told you this at the time after the accused arrest?
After the accused has been arrested, she was already in the holding cells, Your Worship.
Now, what did she say? Why was she cross?
Your Worship, she was disappointed that her daughter can be involved in such a crime, Your Worship.
So was she now disappointed or cross?
I don't know how to differentiate between the two, Your Worship, whether crossed or disappointed, Your Worship, but she was even crying, Your Worship, but you could tell that it was not those tears of joy, Your Worship, it was tears of disappointment and all of that.
The brother of the accused, did you discuss this with him as well?
Your Worship, the brother of the accused, Your Worship, someone that is very, very close to him, Your Worship, was the one that was supposed to be kidnapped, Your Worship. She doesn't want anything to do with this case, Your Worship. I mean, he doesn't want anything to do with this case, Your Worship. I was even with him, Your Worship, on, I think it's 2 days back, Your Worship, when I went to obtain further statement to some of the witnesses there, Your Worship. I don't even think, Your Worship, that he has once visited accused number one, Your Worship. He was very angry.
Can I ask you that? Did he tell you he was angry?
He told me, Your Worship.
What did he say?
Your Worship, this will make me to go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper on the second attempt of kidnapping that happened, Your Worship. But one thing that I can tell this court, Your Worship, without wasting court's time, Your Worship, that will be discussed in a trial court, Your Worship. But he was very, very angry, Your Worship, because one of, someone, Your Worship, close, very, very close to him, Your Worship, could have been a victim, Your Worship.
You did tell him that?
Told me that, Your Worship.
You told him that?
Your Worship, he told me that he was the one, Your Worship, that made all the second attempt, Your Worship, not to happen, to the extent that now they went to the third attempt, which was Amy'Leigh, Your Worship.
Constable Mutong, I want to understand you correctly now. Did you inform the brother of accused number one that someone very close to him was part of the second planned kidnapping?
Yes, Your Worship, we did.
You told him that?
Yes, Your Worship.
And you told him that you obtained that evidence from a very close family member of accused number one?
Your Worship, that information, Your Worship, we got it now when you got all the cell phone records, Your Worship. We have times, Your Worship, we have dates, Your Worship, when the second attempt was planned, Your Worship. We have everything, Your Worship.
But you've told him that. What was his reaction to that?
Your Worship, like he was aware. Because, Your Worship, remember, before it happened to Amy'Leigh, Your Worship, somebody that is very, very close to him, Your Worship, could have been a victim. When we trace the number, if I may go back to my earlier testimony, Your Worship, that the ransom phone, Your Worship, was once contacted a certain number on the 29th, Your Worship, just 3 days before the incident, Your Worship. That number that it contacted, Your Worship, it's a number that belongs to accused number one's, close family member, Your Worship. There was a strange things happened at that time, Your Worship. He was aware that something was not right. That's why the plan was, completely fell off, Your Worship.
So if I put it to you that accused number one's brother is supporting her all the way since her arrest, will you dispute that?
Your Worship, I do not know about that, Your Worship, but I personally was, Your Worship, with the accused number one's brother, Your Worship. 2 days ago, Your Worship, and then he was angry.
He was angry?
He was angry, Your Worship.
What did he say? What gave you the impression he was angry?
Your Worship, he was very angry.
What gave you the impression?
Your Worship, he was very, 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 very angry, Your Worship.
Yes, Constable Mutong, I know he was angry, you've stated that, but the question was that what gave you the perception that he was angry?
Your Worship,
How did you draw the conclusion that he was angry?
Your Worship, at one stage, Your Worship, because he didn't even want to be involved in this matter, Your Worship. He even asked me, Your Worship, to not to give the exact address, Your Worship, where one of the witnesses resided, and then give another address, Your Worship, because he doesn't want anything, Your Worship, to do with accused number one, Your Worship.
He doesn't want to have anything to do with accused number one.
Correct, Your Worship.
So I want to put it to you. Accused brother is the one who instructed me to represent her.
I do not know about that, Your Worship. I can't dispute it, Your Worship.
So you can't dispute it.
I can't, Your Worship.
Now, if he instructed me to represent accused number 1, is that an impression of an angry person who's angry with accused number 1? He doesn't want them to know where he is or where the close relative is, anything like that?
Your Worship, when I met accused brother, Your Worship, he was very angry, Your Worship.
That's all you can say.
I can tell that this court, Your Worship, that he was very angry.
Doesn't fit in with what I've just put to you.
That, Your Worship, that he's the one that is paying accused number 1's attorney fees, Your Worship, I do not know. I cannot dispute that, Your Worship.
So, I want to put it to you that on the evidence you gave, there is no direct evidence that accused number 1 will evade trial at all. Do you agree?
I do not agree, Your Worship.
Why not?
Your Worship, like I said, that she's facing a very, very serious offences, Your Worship. There's a likelihood, Your Worship, that she might evade.
That's your evidence. She might. It is possible.
It's possible.
That's your evidence. There's no direct evidence to that effect. And there's also no direct evidence that accused number 1 will endanger the safety of the public or any particular person. Your evidence is she might, or it's a possibility, and you reason that by saying she, according to your evidence, the plan was first kidnap herself, then close family members, relative, and then the child.
I think he had already answered himself, that she's capable, of
Is capable. And there's a possibility. And there's no. Can I just ask you one thing? This state witness, the state witness who's going to testify about the planning of this kidnapping, that is the family member.
Can you repeat, Your Worship?
The state witness that you're afraid of being influenced by accused number 1, that is the family member.
Correct, Your Worship.
But you have obtained a statement and she already indicated that she will testify.
Correct, Your Worship.
You stand with the evidence that if the court imposed bail conditions not to interfere with the witness, that will not help.
Your Worship, we still stand by our initial, submission that, Your Worship, that the state, Your Worship, the court, Your Worship, must not, Your Worship, grant accused number 1 bail, Your Worship.
The court must not what?
Must not grant, Your Worship.
That's your request. The court must not grant bail. But you cannot substantiate the reasons why the court should not grant bail. What's your answer to that?
Your Worship, I've already said, Your Worship, that even if accused number 1, Your Worship, can give any other alternative place where she can go and stay, Your Worship. This court, Your Worship, must make sure that it protects, Your Worship, the interest of those people that they are going to be around accused number 1, Your Worship.
So, you are having general flimsy reasons to put to this court why the court should not grant bail. The court should put no hard evidence to the contrary of that.
That is his opinion, Your Worship.
There is no evidence that the accused number 1 can destroy. You agree?
Can destroy?
Is there a possibility that the accused number 1 can destroy any evidence?
Yes, Your Worship.
What would that be?
Your Worship, like I said, Your Worship, we are still in an ongoing process, Your Worship. Time frame will investigation, Your Worship. Accused number 1, Your Worship. There are a lot of witnesses, state witnesses, Your Worship, that are very, very close, Your Worship, to accused number 1, Your Worship.
Lot of state witnesses very close there.
Yes, Your Worship.
By that, I believe you refer to the mother, the father of the victim and herself and the brother who's in the class of the accused.
Your Worship, there are some state witnesses, Your Worship, that at this stage, Your Worship, would like to, protect their names, Your Worship.
First of all, except for the tracing of the cell phones and the Amy'Leigh number to get to the place where it was used from and so forth, except from that. And the person, the relative or the family member of accused number 1 who gave you this planned information on your evidence, is there any other, I exclude the family of the victim, except for them, is there any other witness, independent witness that's going to testify that accused number 1 planned it, that she was the mastermind behind this and so forth?
Correct, Your Worship.
How many?
Your Worship, I cannot tell that now, Your Worship. But at the trial court, Your Worship, we will come and present all the witnesses, Your Worship.
Why?
The state witnesses, Your Worship.
Why can't you tell the court how many witnesses?
Your Worship, can this court grant me permission, Your Worship, that on a trial court, Your Worship, and then we will come with the number of witnesses, Your Worship.
Mr. Mutlong, you are not expected to reveal who they are. But
Okay.
are they 1, more than 3, more than 10, 15?
Okay, Your Worship, at this stage, Your Worship, I can count about between 2 and 3, Your Worship.
Between 2 and 3?
Yes, Your Worship.
Between 2 and 3?
Yes, Your Worship.
How many is it now? 2 or 3?
Your Worship, I said between 2 and 3, could be 2 and 3, Your Worship.
Constable Motoru, you are the investigating officer. Am I right?
Correct, Your Worship.
Then you know how many statements you have. So 2 or 3?
Your
2 or 3 witnesses?
Your Worship, I said it can be between 2 and 3, Your Worship.
Between 2 and 3, Constable Mutlong, we can't find anybody. There cannot be 2.5 witnesses.
Okay.
So either there are 2 or 3, sir.
Okay, let me say, Your Worship.
Remember, you are not. You're not going to be held accountable if you say 3 and you only call 2. But at this stage, what is the state's position regarding the
Okay,
witnesses?
it's 2, Your Worship.
2 witnesses.
So why do you say between 2 and 3?
Your Worship, it's 2, Your Worship.
Why did you testify between 2 and 3?
It's 2, Your Worship.
Sir, answer the question, please.
Your Worship, I will object to this question. He has already answered that it's 2. He wanted an exact answer. He was given an answer, Your Worship. I don't see why he should answer as to why did he say 2 and 3. It doesn't make any sense to the state, Your Worship. He has already answered the answer. May the defense proceed with other questions if they yes.
As it pleases the court, Your Worship, in my view, it's important, Your Worship, because the impression that the witness gave to the court is that there is more than 1, and then he indicated 2 to 3. If he knew it was only 2, why did he say 3 then? Because and I'm going to put it to the witness, Your Worship, he is blowing up this evidence about how bad accused number 1 is, and that she's a flight risk and that she will interfere with witnesses and so forth. That's the reason why I'm asking him to clarify why he answered at first between 2 and 3. He knew it was 2, why did he answer that way? May I proceed, Your Worship?
1 second, Mr. May.
Are you willing to answer that question?
Your Worship, I think I've already answered that.
Constable Mutlong, all right, your initial indications, I know you testified that currently you have between 2 and 3 witnesses initially, then you qualified that answer by saying that there are, with definitive assurance that you gave, there are 2 witnesses.
Correct, Your Worship.
What is your explanation regarding saying that between 2 and 3?
Your Worship, like I said earlier on, Your Worship, that we are still within investigation period, Your Worship.
Ongoing investigation.
Yes, Your Worship. There's a likelihood, Your Worship, that there will be another witnesses coming, Your Worship. because we did not obtain almost each and every one.
Thank you, sir.
In other words, it's another possibility for other witnesses to come forward.
Yes, Your Worship. Before trial, Your Worship, witnesses can come on board, Your Worship.
So just for clarity, at the moment you have 2 witnesses, but there is a possibility that that can increase to 3 or 4, even more.
Correct, Your Worship.
But you're only afraid of the interference of accused number 1 against the family member.
As to interfere with the investigation on those bases or what?
You're not afraid that she will interfere with the other witness, the second witness who's a direct witness to the incident.
No, the other witnesses, Your Worship, she's he or she's also going to be affected if accused number 1 can be released on bail, Your Worship.
But why didn't you
Indirectly or directly so, Your Worship.
But why didn't you testify that in chief? In chief, you only testified about the family member that you worried of.
Your Worship, if I may go back, Your Worship, on my initial submission, Your Worship, I did mention that, Your Worship, that the witnesses, Your Worship, if they can be released on bail, Your Worship, they will interfere with investigation, as some of state witnesses, Your Worship, are related to all of them.
In what sense are they related?
What?
In what sense are they related? The one is now a family member, the other one?
The other one, Your Worship, is also a family member, Your Worship, of accused number 2 and 3, Your Worship. That knows very well accused number 1, Your Worship.
You testified about visiting the wife of accused number 3. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Worship, I did.
Well, that was not at the same premises where the residence was empty.
No, it was not, Your Worship.
And there where you visited the wife of accused number 3, is that where accused number 3 stayed?
No, Your Worship. Accused number 3, Your Worship, was staying in a certain plot in the side of Hosa's Your Worship. The wife, Your Worship, like I said earlier on, Your Worship, that they had to move out, Your Worship, 2 or 3 days before. They've already paid, Your Worship. Their plan was to go to David after they received the ransom, but it did not materialize, Your Worship. Accused number 1's wife, Your Worship, she went and go to stay.
Accused number 3.
I mean, accused number 3, Your Worship. Yes, Your Worship. His wife, she went to go and stay at another address, Your Worship, that I cannot mention it here, Your Worship. But it's somewhere in SW2, Your Worship.
I just don't understand you correctly now. So, accused number 3 and his wife were staying together.
Yes, Your Worship.
At the plot that they vacated, that was sold.
Correct, Your Worship.
And then the wife moved to some other premises in SW2.
Correct, Your Worship.
And the accused number 3 stood behind.
No, Your Worship, the wife only left the plot, Your Worship, after accused number 3, Your Worship, has been arrested. They were going to spend the night there, Your Worship, on the 4th when they were arrested, when accused number 3 was arrested, Your Worship. But then on the 5th, Your Worship, in the morning, Your Worship, when I went there, Your Worship, she had already moved out to where she's currently residing now, Your Worship.
So instruction to put to you that accused number 1 has no other family members in the Val, meaning Vanderbijlpark, vereniging, except for her biological mother and stepfather, her biological father, her sister, and the brother who's staying in Vanderbijlpark from time to time.
I do not know about that, Your Worship.
How can you say you do not know about it?
Your Worship, I cannot tell Your Worship how many, relatives that accused number 1 has, Your Worship. I mean, it was the first time that I saw accused number 1, Your Worship, on the 28th, on the 2nd, Your Worship, and then I hardly spoke with her that much, Your Worship. I don't know how many relatives that she have outside or inside Vanderbijlpark. The only relative that I know, Your Worship, is the brother that I went to him, the mother, Your Worship, that I saw, and then the stepdad, Your Worship, there was a brother also there, I think, and another lady. Maybe it's the same lady that the defense is referring to, Your Worship. As for her dad, Your Worship, I only saw on social media that her dad is currently residing around Vanderbijlpark.
Constable McClure, I'm referring to family members of accused number 1. That's my instruction. Now you tell the court you don't know.
Your Worship, I don't know, Your Worship, how many family members she has in or outside Val, Your Worship. I can't tell, Your Worship.
Constable McClure, if that is so, why don't you testify the state witness is a family member of accused number 1?
Your Worship, because she is, Your Worship.
But then, it's contrary to what I've put to you now.
Your Worship, if I may, maybe I did not get the exact question that the defense asked. Your Worship.
All right, you can answer, Constable. What is your explanation?
My understanding, Your Worship, was that accused number 1, Your Worship, the only family members that she has, Your Worship, it's a brother, it's a mother, it's a father, and then it's a siblings, Your Worship. Then my answer was that, Your Worship, that was my initial understanding, Your Worship. My answer was that, Your Worship, I wouldn't know whether she has relatives, other relatives inside or outside Vanderbijlpark.
So the question is straightforward. It was put to you that the only family members of accused number 1 in the Val, referring to Vanderbijlpark was the accused mother, biological mother and stepfather, her biological father, her sister, and her brother who's from time to time staying in Vanderbijlpark. That is what you know, or family members in the Val.
Yes, I can't dispute that.
You can't dispute that. But your evidence is, your witness that you are afraid accused number 1 is going to intimidate is a family member staying in the Val. Does that then mean it's one of the family members I'm referring to?
Your Worship, there's also one family member, Your Worship, of accused number 1, Your Worship. That is the one that I'm referring to, Your Worship. He actually he stays with the brother of accused number 1, Your Worship. They have a child together, Your Worship.
Are you saying that the family member you're referring to, we've established it's a woman, I don't want to find out who it is, but are you saying it's a relative of accused number 1's brother? And he has a child with that lady?
Yes, the entire family, Your Worship. When I went there, Your Worship, on the 4th, Your Worship, she was also, present at that accused number 1's mother's place, Your Worship. She was there also.
But she's not a family member. Are you referring to Esther?
Your Worship, can I refrain from
Mr.
using
Mutlong,
names currently, Your Worship?
Mr. May, I think we should not try to reveal or put any sources to the witness here. But perhaps Constable Mutlong and the court is trying to understand what are you meaning there. Perhaps maybe when you say a close family member, one can interpret it to mean perhaps maybe one's brother, sister, mother, father, child.
Okay.
Whereas a close family member can also mean to somebody else, a cousin, an uncle, an aunt, a brother-in-law, sister-in-law, etc.
Okay, the person that the defense is referring to, Your Worship, it's a lady that stays with accused number 1's brother, Your Worship.
Thank you.
And when I went there, Your Worship, on the 5th, Your Worship, somewhere there, Your Worship, she was also present at that accused number 1's mother's house residence, Your Worship.
That lady, that witness, and that lady is the mother of accused number 1's brother's child.
Correct, Your Worship.
And you saying that that lady gave you an affidavit, a statement, where she testified, or where in which she put to you what was the planning all along, from the beginning to the end.
That is not the witness you see, that said the one that defense is referring to. There's another witness again, Your Worship.
So that witness didn't testify anything about the plan. Oh, I'm sorry, I say testify. She didn't make a statement to say that.
Your Worship, no, not on those content that is referring to, Your Worship. That's another witness, Your Worship, that talked about what.
That is
what
the second witness you're referring to.
Correct, Your Worship. So it's one of the state witnesses, Your Worship.
Your Worship, I just want to take an instruction on one aspect from my client. If I might ask the court for a short adjournment for 5 minutes, I'll appreciate that.
Right, perhaps this is an opportune moment to then adjourn, right? The court will adjourn for 5 minutes.
Okay, we are back on record in the matter. Constable Motlong, the court will remind you once again that you are still under oath.
As it is in the court, Your Worship, during this short adjournment, it came to my attention that the three accused have to go back to Johannesburg prison, and the police also indicated that they have to leave, otherwise they will not be able to get in time to Johannesburg prison. I'm almost at the end of my cross-examination, Your Worship. At this stage, I request the court to roll the matter till tomorrow for me to finalize my cross-examination and for accused number 2 and 3 to proceed with the possible Motlong's evidence in the cross-examination.
Thank you, Mr. May. Ms. Gobo.
Your Worship, I'll confirm what my learned colleague has just indicated, Your Worship. Indeed, the first accused and the second accused needs to be transported to Joburg, Your Worship, and the officers, Your Worship, will have problems when they arrive there late. So we'll request the Worship that the matter be rolled over until tomorrow.
Yes, that is obviously an ongoing challenge I think all the courts are facing.
Correct, Your Worship.
Right.
If all the courts are facing that problem, Your Worship.
Mr. Venter.
I'm in agreement, Your Worship. It's fine.
Thank you. Mr. Chirwa.
Your Worship, at this stage I'm inclined to agree with all participants. Switch over, Your Worship.
Good. In light of the fact that this matter, in all probability, is not going to be concluded today, it is a parted matter. It becomes a parted bail application. Matter is then rolled over to tomorrow, the 20th of September 2019. That is for resumption of this parted bail application, as well as for further evidence in the matter. All right. Ms. Human, Ms. Nell, and Mr. Van Zyl, you are all three remanded in custody, and you are to remain in custody until then. Constable Motlong, you are also then warned to appear back here at the court tomorrow, 8:30 in the morning, in the same courtroom, courtroom B. Right? The court would like to place on record as well that the court has a roll for tomorrow. What happens for the roll? Perhaps maybe we will start with this matter then promptly at 9 o'clock.
That will suit for the Worship.
As the court pleases, Your Worship.
Thank you.
Sitting in a text